ho, ho.
Right, so I followed this a lot, and I know you've just been chucking this in the sort of back room there, Tom. I followed this Rust drama from the very start, made loads and loads and loads and loads of videos on it, and now Hannah Gutierrez Reed is up in court right now. I'm assuming. What's going on, Tom?
Yeah, I mean, this is developing quickly. I haven't got a chance to read through all of this yet, but she and
is she
go
in
ahead.
Court right now? Is that what it is?
I think so. Yeah.
Right. Well, let's take a look then. So, for those that don't know, Hannah Gutierrez Reed is the armorer. She's a nepo kid as well. She only got the job because of nepotism. She was the armorer on the film Rust, which Alec Baldwin was an executive producer on, also the lead. This is the tragedy where Alec Baldwin shot someone, killed them, injured the director as well, but killed the cinematographer. And loads of people have been... it's a blame game, basically. It's your fault, no, it's my fault, no, it's your fault. It's kind of all over the place. So here it is. Hannah Gutierrez Reed is a scapegoat for the 2021 on-set killing of Rust cinematographer Helena Hutchins, the accused armorer's defense lawyer told a Santa Fe jury today. So here's what was said. Just because there was a tragedy doesn't mean a crime was committed. Jason Bowles added to the 5 women and 7 men sitting in judgment of his client for the fatality of the indie western starring and produced by Alec Baldwin. It does not mean that Hannah Gutierrez Reed caused the crimes they've charged her with. They are trying to blame it all on Hannah, Bowles said of the prosecutors and Rust producers in Hannah Gutierrez Reed's involuntary manslaughter trial. Why? Because she's an easy target, the least powerful person on the set. So she's been charged with involuntary manslaughter and evidence tampering. Gutierrez Reed would go to state prison for up to 3 years if found guilty. Reed charged last month. Baldwin is up for trial himself in summer, which I think he's maybe still going to go down. So yeah, what else have you read on this, Tom, that's worth picking out?
I mean, this is, like you said, this is very involved. There's a lot in here. Her defense is they're trying to blame it all on Alec, and right, I don't really like Alec, but I will say this: the funny thing is the early reports were saying that the first AD was the one who made all these choices about who was going to be on set, who was not going to be on set because of COVID restrictions, and now her defense is they're putting it all on Alec Baldwin. But you have a problem here, and that is that we have live rounds on set, and it sounds like she is the one who brought the live rounds on set. For what reason, I have no clue. And not only that, this is not looking good for her for a lot of things, because this is only her second job. She's a nepo baby of sorts. I've heard rumors behind the scenes from people that I've talked to that have worked with her father and other people close to her that know her, and that she is not really the most responsible individual in the world. In fact, if you remember right, a lot of allegations came out right away about drinking and drug use on the set and target practicing. They bring that up in the article here. So yeah, this does not look good for her. It does not look good for Alec Baldwin. And I know the first AD already made some deal. So it sounds like he's gotten himself out of as much trouble as possible, but it's coming down to her and Alec right now. So the thing is, I have a problem with here is that she's the armorist. This is her job, her responsibility. What the hell were live rounds doing on the friggin' set?
Yeah, well, there was some reports that they were shooting guns.
Well, it says here, showing another series of photos of cartridges and Gutierrez Reed on set, Lewis told the judge and jury in court that we have a little bit more evidence that these live rounds came on the set via the defendant when she came to New Mexico from out of state.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
So it really puts her in the crosshairs right now, not to be punny.
Yeah, well, you're going to hear again Mr. Baldwin, one of the lead producers, head actor in the movie, who really controlled the set. You're going to hear that he violated some of the most basic gun safety rules you can ever learn. From a young age, we all learn you don't point a gun at somebody ever unless you want to shoot them. You treat all guns as loaded and you keep your finger out of the trigger until you're ready to shoot. He violated all of those. It wasn't Ms. Gutierrez Reed, it was Mr. Baldwin. I mean, that is true, but I mean, what
That's
do you
the
say
thing,
about
though.
it?
He is, as far as he knows, he's being handed a gun with blanks that has been overseen by Gutierrez. That's the problem we have here. And they're using the age-old argument, and this is something that we all debated and discussed when this first happened. And some of us tried to get people to understand that this is not like your basic gun law kind of thing, to where it's not like when if say you were out on a range shooting with your friends and somebody accidentally gets shot, right?
Yeah,
There is a chain of command here, and the sad part for her is that it really does, all chains lead back to her. This is her responsibility, sadly. And again, my big
yeah.
question is, what the hell were live rounds doing on a movie set? Period. End of discussion. They shouldn't even be there.
Well, they tried to blame another armorer, didn't they? Do you remember that?
Yeah, they were trying to obfuscate before. There was something, I don't remember the exacts of it, but yeah, see, that's the
They
thing
were
is, again,
trying to blame someone
I
called
have no love for Alec Baldwin at all, but people need to understand that he is not the same as like a typical person in a crime here. This is like
Hmm.
it's a we've had several people that worked in the industry talk to us about this. I talked to somebody who actually knows a lot of people involved with this situation. And again, when it comes to weapons on the set, the responsibility falls back on the armorist and the prop master every single time. Even knives are
I
treated
mean, look at
very.
this. You'll hear testimony that she routinely left guns and ammunition just lying around unattended. That's what you said, isn't it? I mean, it's just terrible. So bad. So bad. Outrageous.
I'm look. I'm not a.
Sloppy.
Look, I get it. People in the chat are trying to, poke at me. Look, Alec Baldwin is a piece of shit, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's guilty of murder. That's what I'm saying here.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, right, like it's in this situation, it's quite literally a lesser of two evils. And also, dependent on which way you look at it.
He's not out of the woods yet either. That's the thing.
Yeah, well, this is what I'm trying to say is that whichever way you look at it, actually, you can, depending on what lens you look through this with, you can lay the responsibility on both of them, on either one, all of them. You could actually lay it on many people. You could even lay it on the assistant director, which generally speaking is head of safety on a set.
Which sounds like they already made a deal. That's what I'm saying.
He did. Yeah, the 80s made a deal right up front. Done.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this is what I mean, right? Like, no one, don't take anyone in this discussion. Don't take anyone as defending anyone specifically for any. There's no conviction behind this. No one's trying to defend anyone here. It's a really muddled and awful. I mean, I followed this from the start. It is an awful and muddled situation. It's just, it's awful. It's awful. And there's all manner of things as well, because I mean, you're saying Gutierrez Reed, Tom. I also say Alec Baldwin as well, because he lied. He said he didn't pull the trigger.
That's
the
where
FBI
he's in trouble,
and also the other the specialist investigators, specialist prosecutors were like, well, no, you absolutely did pull the trigger. This would not have gone off unless you pulled the trigger. You 100% pulled the trigger. Like, what are you doing? And that's why he's back in court now, or will be in summer.
That's why I said beforehand, he just kept his mouth shut.
Yeah,
he wouldn't even be a problem right now. Like, he'd be past this. Because again, guys, you got to remember, I know that the circumstances aren't exactly like the Crow case, but that's like the closest thing we have to this. And in that case, nobody went to jail. Nobody went to prison. I don't even know if anybody got anything charged with any kind of negligence whatsoever. Right? The insurance had to pay out, I think, money, but that was it. Like, because in that case, it was just a matter of the blanks were loaded with too much gunpowder. So what it did is it blew out the end of the blank into, Brandon Lee, sadly. Now here you have a different situation. Somehow real bullets got mixed up in with blanks. That's what we're looking at here. And as much as we want to point the finger at Alec Baldwin for this, that's not his fucking job. Unfortunately. Now, you want to get into the debate of why he should have or shouldn't have pulled the trigger when they were just setting up a shot? That's a whole nother different discussion. But it wouldn't have mattered had there not been a real fucking bullet in the goddamn gun. Right? Like, that's the thing. This is not like the Crow. That's where the thing changes with the Crow situation. The Crow situation was an accident, pure and simple, because they tried to save money by making their own loads instead of getting them ordering them professionally on the Crow, and they fucked up. That was their fault. But that was just what it was. Sorry, it was one time I let one slip. I tried so hard.
You said it loads.
Did I really? Or you just
Yes.
whatever. Point being, though, this is a real bullet. Why was it there? It shouldn't have been there.
So this is the person they're trying to blame, Seth Kenny, if you remember that. They're trying to blame the ammunition supplier as well. They're trying to be like, well, Seth Kenny, he provided the ammunition, so he's the one, actually. It's just all over the place. It's absolutely all over the place.
Ultimately, it's just it honestly comes down to pulling the trigger when it wasn't needed to be pulled. And that's just my opinion. And I followed this from the very start as well. I mean, it's something I reported on, and I kept reporting on it, saying, I don't want to report on this anymore. This needs to go away. And it's just
Well, it was just backwards and forwards all the time, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I remember so many videos I made.
And I'm like, this is nuts. Why is this still happening? Because nobody's being assigned blame. Nobody's taking blame. Nobody wants anything to do with any consequence of this particular accident. There are people to blame. You said before, just a few moments ago, everybody here's to blame. And notice how Hannah Gutierrez Reed has changed her outward appearance.
Yeah, she looked rough.
She also was sporting the wackadoodle haircut with the wackadoodle hair coloring and everything else, and she's going into court looking as normal as you and me, because that's she has to, right? At least her statements have not been as egregious as what Baldwin did. Baldwin made multiple public appearances and interviews where he basically
screwed himself.
Yeah, should have just kept his mouth shut. It was just dumb.
Yeah, if I was his lawyer and his agent and publicist, that's the first thing I'd have told him. You go shut up, and that's it. Don't say a damn word. Don't show up in public. Stay indoors for about 3-4 weeks, and then we'll see how this rolls out. That's it. His mistake was getting out there and talking and trying to justify this, that, and the other, and that was his own stupid move, and that's what's going to get him in trouble. Because, yes, as far as I'm concerned, the way I see this, from knowing the way this whole thing should have gone in the first place, had he not said anything, she would have got charged possibly, but most likely nothing would have come of it. Same thing with the first AD, and then it just went away and nobody would have heard about it ever again. The family would have got paid out a big fat check.
Yeah. Which they deserve. I mean, let's just be fair. I mean, that family was destroyed the moment
they did already get that money, but now they're happy that it's all
disgusting
as well.
Well, and the sad part about this is part of their well-being is wrapped up in the movie now, because part of whatever Alec deal he made with the husband, he's part of the production now. So they better hope the movie makes any money, or he ain't gonna see dick. So that's what I'm saying. It's like this whole thing is a mess. Alec Baldwin's definitely responsible as a producer, that's for sure. But as far as the actor side of things, actors are no different than props on a set in most cases, and that's the problem. They're like children. You cannot expect them to know anything more than anybody else. Now, Alec Baldwin should know better, but that doesn't account into a lot of this stuff, other than the fact that he lied to, what was it, the FBI that he talked to?
Yeah.
He'll probably get in more trouble for that than anything. How much you want to bet? That's the only thing he'll get charged with at the end of the day, I bet.
I don't think he will. I don't think he'll get charged for that either.
You might be right. I mean, I think he'll get a manslaughter with like a purge sentence of some sort where he'll have to pay out a bunch of fines. Just like if somebody accidentally kills somebody in an automobile accident, that's kind of the way he'll be charged. And then he'll probably get, if, like you said, if that, maybe they won't.
Well, William Fleming super chatted $1, says, regarding Rust, I'm still waiting to hear from Randy Quaid. Good times. Well, there you go. Anyway, we'll keep you up to date on this. This is just nonsense. And
I love the gun guys in the chat. You're not wrong. You're not. But you guys are looking at this like a typical gun situation. It's not.
Yeah, it is entirely different. But
yeah, and I'm an avid gun guy. I was actually out shooting yesterday. And I agree with what Tom said 100%. As far as Alec Baldwin, I mean, they hired this armor and this person to come on set and take care of this
A
stuff.
licensed gun specialist.
Yes.
That's the point.
And the thing is, you pay these people to do this job, so you don't have to worry about it. Hundreds and thousands of movies with guns get made all the time, and people are sitting there, blasting away and everything's fine. It's just,
well, think about John Wick. Think about all the guns in John Wick.
Exactly.
Knowing
that's a perfect example. So you're not sitting there going, well, is there anything in here? Do I need to check this? Is an actor from that side of things? Yeah, I mean, I don't put him at fault for that, but also I agree with Tom. With him being a producer, and that's being a different
scenario.
Yeah, in the live rounds being on set, yeah, that's definitely an issue.
Well, let's shuffle on. I don't want to linger too much on that for